Good morning. We are leaving Mount Rainier National Park, and again, I know I've said it multiple times, but really worth a stop. I'd give it a couple days even, instead of just like pop in and pop out. And we stayed at the Silver Springs campground outside of the park entrance, near the White River entrance. And that's a beautiful spot to stay, especially if you can get one of those sites right by the river. I mean, it just lulls you to sleep at night. I would try to stay away from the side of the loop that goes along 410, otherwise you'll hear a lot of traffic. Other than that, it's really beautiful. So we are headed to Port Townsend, and we'll see what we can see over there. We're going to make 2 stops, Liberty Bay Waterfront and Paul's Bow, before we get to Fort Worden State Park. So here we go. We are at Fort Worden State Park now in Port Townsend, Washington. It's beautiful out here. It's so nice and cool where we are right now. Where the camper is, that part of the park, it's quite warm, even though it's just 75 degrees. But we are really enjoying here looking at the boats. And there you can see them. The big ones, all behind this stone wall. Maybe it's too much wall right now, but I was looking at this old lake keeper house, and you actually can stay in, well, this one's a private residence, but you actually can stay in that building there, that lighthouse. Isn't that interesting? It's a vacation rental. They kind of look like they need a little bit of paint, but I imagine they get quite a bit of weather out here. Whatever the case, it's super breezy and cool, and yeah, I love the front porch on that. So neat. It's quite interesting. We're watching these big barges and boats out here, and the white one you see is empty, but there's one behind it and it's full. It's got yellow containers on it, but then on the top there's big fishing boats all lined up on the top of it. So that's pretty cool. We have binoculars so we can see it. But once this boat gets around, I'll show you the container ship. And there it is. You can see all the yellow containers on there. And like I said, I wish I could show you through binoculars, but there are boats on top of it, all lined up. Big fishing boats. Good morning from Fort Worden State Park in Port Townsend, Washington. We are out and about this morning. Kind of drizzly, cool morning, but we'll take it. Coming from weeks and weeks of 100-degree weather, it's not bad. We just came across a building. Not creepy at all. Yeah. This is an old base. Down below they use the buildings for housing now, and like vacation housing, but this is just a creepy old building. You can go in the rooms back there. I think I will not. Some kind of something in the ground. So we're just kind of walking around, gonna see a lot of the buildings, I should say, are still here. Not all of them. They said they had over 400 at the height of it, and now they're down to 90. There is some program here this week, some event, and it is called Thing, just Thing. And so maybe you know about that. It's lots of music and art vendors and things like that. We do not have a ticket, but our campground is right next to it. So we will definitely be hearing it. We'll see how that goes. We have just one night here, and it should be interesting. Food trucks, all the fun. Got to the top of the hill, and there's ones up here. These are built into the hillside. They do have some signs that tell you what the things are, but not a lot of history posted, which would be interesting to know. So you can go in these buildings, but they are pitch black inside and honestly creepy. Can't even see back there. Some kind of tracks on the ceiling. The camera's going fuzzy, but the tracks on the ceiling must have been for some kind of transportation of ammo, I would say. And then when you come out here, these two big circles were probably cannons or something like that. You see the big chains on the wall. Well, the loops right now, they're not chains anymore hanging on them, but interesting. Built into the hill here. Little building, I guess, was for the guy who stays protected because he has just little tiny windows in there to see out of. So we now came to this part, which is called Tulles, T-O-L-L-E-S, and got a few people here with us, but not too much. And this is where a gun would have been sitting, facing out to the bay. And this area was used in World War I, World War II, but now it's just been left here, but there's so much of it that's still here because it's all concrete. Up there, some type of bunker as well. We climbed up steps right here. They're on either side of this upper part. Came in here, and this looks like it would have been where they looked out with binoculars. And out there is the bay. Very cloudy day, but it's not bad. And the fog is just rolling in now, which kind of adds to the creepy factor. It is really foggy out there. We were able to see across to land over there. I'm not sure what land it is, and we could actually see the sun was out on the other side, but now it is just socked in with fog. More batteries. I'll tell you what, the concrete is incredible on this whole coastline. It's just one after another. And now when we look out, the fog rolled all the way. It's in a matter of minutes. The fog left. It's really interesting to see. We're going to walk around here, probably down, to see what else we can see down there. We're at the other end now, this upper part anyway, and it's kind of more of the same, but yet there are a few more buildings here, such as these over here that we're presuming were like the barracks if you were on duty at these gun mounts up above. This one has a name above it. This part along the bluff that we walked the whole length of, this was built, like I said, in 3 years' time, from 1897 to the 1900 year, and that's just remarkable because it is a mass of concrete. We are up on Artillery Hill. We climbed a lot and got up here at the top, and down below That's Fort Worden, basically, where you can see festivities are starting to be set up for this event that they call Thing. And we did hear somebody singing at one of the far stages. They don't have the big stage going yet, and it looks like people are just arriving. It's only 2 o'clock, so we have to see how it unfolds this evening. That's when it gets really busy. But out here you get a beautiful view of the water. The JFK trail takes you further down. We're probably going to get all the way down to the main buildings now, but we're over on the beach side where they have a campground and a very long beach. You can see up past here, and then the lighthouse is way up around the corner, which we can't quite see. It's there through the trees. We might get a better look further down. Now you can see the lighthouse. We went down the trail just a little further, and you can see it down there all the way at the end. And in the trees here on the left, you can't see, but the campground is down there. And really there aren't trees in the campground. The trailers are just kind of sitting out in the grass there. But they have a nice view for sure. The deer walk all over here. It's really funny. They're just like part of the park. And in back of them is Alexander's Castle. It's a funny little building. It looks a little grander from the other side, but you can actually rent it as a vacation place.